Hello everybody, welcome. It's me, Kelly. I love talking about life and beauty, and I hope that what I bring you is both helpful and enjoyable. Today I'm going to be trying out the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. It's been getting lots of great reviews, so I'm really excited to try this one. I'm going to try the shade Light 2W40, and if it turns out to be a little too light for me, I am going to set it with my Mineral Veil from bareMinerals, because this powder does have a slight tint, so I want that to help me, get the shade right on my skin tone. I was looking at several shades, and normally the ones that are targeted for medium skin tone looked like they would be too dark for me, so I settled on this one. I was torn between this shade and another one. I could have gotten both, but to quote Ross Geller, what am I, a Rockefeller? I'm just kidding. These are pretty affordable, so I could have gotten the two of them, but I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to try the one shade. So we're gonna go right in. I'm gonna try it with the Complexion Brush from e.l.f., which is a duo. This is for your foundation, and this is for your concealer. And I'm gonna do this on one side, and on the other side, I'm gonna try it with my beauty sponge from Real Techniques, just to see which application yields the better results. First, let me get my hair out of the way. Alrighty, here we go. I like to start off with just the one pump, so is it coming out or? There it is. Woo, okay. So this is how much I got on my hand. Now let's start buffing it in with the brush. I do want to tell you that I already primed my face. I used my bareMinerals Neutralizing Primer. So the primer does have a slight tint. It just kind of blends into the skin, and it doesn't affect the color of the foundation. So I'm gonna go right in. Wow, I barely tapped the brush into the product, and this is how much came out on the skin. It looks like it's going a long way. Let me zoom you in. I've never used this brush before, and I rarely use brushes for cream or liquid foundation. I normally just go with my beauty sponge from Real Techniques, and I'm starting to remember why. At least with this brush, it doesn't seem like it's doing it for me. I know this brush has like a lot of fans, but maybe I'm using it wrong. Okay, so I did one side of my face, and as you can see, it does look like it's a little bit on the light side for my skin tone. I'll be able to just blend it in once I apply my bronzer and all that. I don't really mind if my foundation is just maybe like half a shade or one shade lighter or darker than than my actual skin tone. And in general, I like to match my foundation to my neck. I normally tend to go for like the lighter foundations just to match my neck. Okay, so here we go on this side. It does give good coverage, although I don't know how smoothly it applied. So you can see there, you can kind of see the product laying on the face. I'm gonna go on the other side with my beauty sponge, and I hope that it looks better. Here we go. And I have a pimple on this side of the face, so we'll see how good the coverage is. I might have to go in and use a second pump of product actually. Let me get that in. So going with the second pump, dip my sponge in there. So far I can't tell the difference in application between using the brush and using the beauty sponge. What do you think? I'm just kidding, I know you can't answer, but let me take a look with my mirror here. I like the coverage, but I think that I like the side that I used my sponge on a little bit better than the side that I used the brush on. So I'm just gonna go over that side with the sponge just to leave the product just a little bit more smoothly on the skin on this side. I do have oily skin, so if this product is targeted for people with, you know, oily skin, then I'm the perfect candidate for it. Actually, let me read the packaging. Let's see. It says color correcting, full coverage, natural finish. It says that it has skin loving ingredients like collagen, peptides, and niacinamide. Is that how you say that word? Well, either way, I'm sure you've heard of it. Directions do say apply 1 to 2 pumps of the cream, and I pumped it twice, ended up using just 1.5 pump. And so far, I like how it looks. The coverage is good. The cream itself is not as thick as I expected. It's more liquidy than it is creamy, at least from what I'm trying right now. At least from what I'm feeling on the back of my hand. That's just a leftover product that I'm gonna wipe off. So this is the finish of the foundation. It does have good coverage. I only used 1.5 pumps because I don't like my foundation to look a little too heavy on my skin. So this is how it looks. It has good coverage. I have a blemish there that it did a good job covering. I'm not being too picky on it because it is a pretty big blemish. In fact, I think there are 2 there. But the coverage is pretty good. Again, I don't like to go heavy on it, so I do have my beauty mark here that still shows, which is totally fine. So this is how it looks now that I zoomed you out. I mean, I don't think people are gonna be really looking at you so close to your face. So if there are any like imperfections in the way your foundation looks, very few people, at least I think, are gonna be looking at you that close to you, especially now we're in the middle of a pandemic, so I think most of us are keeping a distance. So this is how it looks. It's not, I think I went with the right shade. I am gonna still use my bareMinerals Tinted Mineral Veil to set that, just to get a little bit just more color there. It's what I normally do if I feel like my foundations are just a tiny bit on the lighter side. So as you could see, I did not use any concealer. I wanted the cream to stand on its own as far as the coverage went. I'm just gonna do the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna go with a very basic everyday look, and I'm just gonna speed it up so I don't have to put you through the whole thing, and then I'll show you how the final look looks as the end result with the Camo cream on. I already finished my face makeup. As you saw, I set the Camo cream with the bareMinerals Tinted Mineral Veil. As a bronzer, I used the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer. Then for blush, I used the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Rose Dioro. And as highlight, I went with a mild highlight since this is a shimmery blush. I went with Hard Candy Glow All the Way. adjusted my brows with the Benefit Gimme brows. This is just a travel size that I got in my Ipsy bag, and it was a little bit different than I expected. The wand is very small, so it was a little bit hard to be precise. So if anybody has any tips on how to use this product to the best of its ability, please let me know, because I know that this is a very beloved product, the Benefit Gimme Brow. So give me advice, please. Okay, so I think that is as good as that is gonna look. Let me actually go in with a little spoolie to get those hairs nice and brushed in my eyebrows. Feel like some of the tint of the Gimme Brow went above my brow line there. We're gonna leave it like this for now. And for my eye makeup, I'm gonna keep it really simple and just use a shadow trio. This is a shadow trio from City Color. I got this in my Ipsy bag, but really any shadow trio, whatever is on hand, I just grab whenever I'm doing an everyday look like this. Sometimes I just grab one color and just go with that one on the crease and on the lid. For my mascara, I'm gonna go with my Tarte Curler, which I love, and the Maybelline Sky High Waterproof Mascara, which I recently did a first impressions on. And as a follow-up, what I have to say is, the more I use it, the more I love it. Because it is waterproof, make sure that you have a really good makeup remover. I go with the cleansing balm from Clean Zero, which is really good at removing waterproof mascara, but it does take me, like, you know, a minute or two extra to get it all out, but it does work, and I still don't mind using it because waterproof mascara, especially this one that I've been loving, great at giving me length and keeping my lashes curled the way I like. So here I go. I'm not looking for any intense look today or anything, so I am gonna stick to just the one coat, but that's plenty. Once again, I'm gonna give props to Maybelline Sky High Mascara. This is how my lashes look. Moving on. I just went with my bareMinerals Gen Nude Liquid Lipstick. It's a matte finish, and this is in the shade Swag. Super great lipstick, goes on comfortably on the lips. It's a subtle shade. It doesn't dry out your lips. It's not totally transfer proof, but it does go on the lips very comfortably without drying you out, and it does give a nice subtle flattering look. I feel like in like the 15 minutes or so that it's been on my face, it has settled in my skin a little bit more nicely than when I first applied it. I see it now. I don't feel oily just yet. I feel like it did give me good, decent coverage. I used one pump and maybe just a little bit more. And I have to say, between using the Complexion Brush from e.l.f. and my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge, I like the Beauty Sponge just a bit better because I feel like it just makes the product settle onto my skin more flawlessly. I'm going to zoom you in just so that I can show you how it looks now that the whole look is completed. I don't see any like patchiness, any dry areas, any shiny areas. Again, it hasn't been a long time since I applied it, but so far it looks very promising. Get you away from my face there for just a little bit. So if I had to compare the finish of it, I'd say it does come a little bit close to the CC Plus cream from IT Cosmetics. And if it were a little bit more matte, it would come close to the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. Overall, great CC cream. I used 1.5 pump and I feel like the tube already got a little bit smaller. So I don't know how much product really came in here. I don't know if the tube was filled to capacity, but overall the product is great. This is just my first time using it, so I'll definitely give it a more, I'll definitely continue to use it, especially since it does have an SPF 30, just a little bit of a bonus. So great for outside daylight use and just basically for a good natural finish, because I do feel like it did give me a natural finish without making me look too matte or too oily. It's a nice in between. Overall, I am pleased with how the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream looks on my skin. So that was my first impressions on the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.